When you are making a land map for a GeneRally 2 track, you have to be careful to only use the 14 colors that are in the GeneRally palette. Any other color will show up as a default green grass. That means you can't use any sort of gradient fills or blends, or you're going to generate a lot of illegal colors. So let's say I want to put a mud border, a faded mud border on the track. Well, I'm going to use the fuzzy select tool to grab the infield areas of the track. I'm going to use mud so it's easy to see, and then do a gradient fill using foreground to transparent, and the shape is spherical. Click and drag, and you'll see I've got a nice halo of mud around the track. The problem is this is all sorts of different colors blended together. The solution is to switch to the dissolve layer type. Now GIMP will dither the pixels either on or off to simulate the transparency. So if we zoom back out a little bit, there we go. Now if we switch to the gradient editor, here you can see what that gradient looks like. Now I can drag this handle to adjust the gradient. There's also a copy of that handle here. So with this I can adjust how far I want that blend to go. But you'll notice this still goes all the way in. There's still some mud way in the middle here. If you can set up a custom gradient, such as this one, I've got two pieces to it. The first half goes from the mud to, or whatever the foreground color is, to transparent. The second half is all transparent. So now I have several handles on here that I can just adjust things with. Now which one's which? Let's see. This is how dense the fade is for the gravel. The middle one adjusts how much of a clear center area you're going to create. So I'm going to put it about there, and I think that looks pretty good. Now let's switch to another layer here. Another trick, let's fill this layer with sand, and let's say we want to lighten this grass up a little bit. I'm going to fill the entire layer. If I select none, there we go. Fill the entire layer with sand, switch it to dissolve, and now I can move the opacity slider and get as much or as little sand blended into the grass as I want. From full coverage to none, or almost none. Let's do almost none. I need a little more than that. There we go. Okay, and that even shows through here where the mud area is. And just one final demo here. Let's add one more layer. This time I'm going to use select by color and get all of the light gray color. And I'm going to switch to the dark gray tarmac color and do that gradient fill again over here. And now I have a little sprinkle of the darker gray to soften the edges of everything. And there's quite a few other tricks you can do with this. Just play around with it and see what you can come up with. That concludes the video. Thanks for watching.